To markets trading here in Nigeria. Joining me to discuss investment opportunities at the equities market is Abisola Falode, research analyst at CSL Stockbrokers. Thank you so much, Abisola. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
We're seeing the market closing up in positive territory for a second straight session. Now, looking at the list of gainers today, Nigerian breweries, PZ, Guinness, and of course WAPCO. WAPCO has been trying to recoup some of the losses that we've seen in the previous sessions. Of course, you know that initially after that announcement of the consolidation of its Nigeria and South Africa businesses, there was a rally, but the stock has suffered losses since then. Your thoughts on if this could be a turnaround for the stock?
Okay, well, what happened is, I think it's the news of the cement grade that has caused investors to be a bit skeptical. Because as it is now, there is a cost implication to the new cement grade that is being implemented. Last week, the Standard Organization of Nigeria came up with the fact that 32.5 grade cement is now to be used for plastering only, while the 42.5 grade cement is to be used for all purposes. The cost implication here is that for smaller scale producers which have their product line to be a 32.5 grade, they have to incur more costs to try and produce the new grade of 42.5. So I think this is what investors have seen, and they are a bit skeptical. As for WAPCO, we don't know what percentage of its shares right now, of its output rather, is the 32.5 grade, since it produces the 42.5 and other grades of cement. So there is a cost implementation cost problem here, which I think investors are a bit skeptical about.
Abisola, I mean, the fact that the company has merged its Nigerian and SA businesses to become one large entity, so I'm just thinking, shouldn't that, wouldn't the new entity be big enough to absorb such losses?
Well, yes, the new entity is going to be strong. I think market hasn't really factored in the growth potential. If you compare WAPCO with that of Dangote Cement, WAPCO currently has a 4.5 metric tons of cement plant in Nigeria, while Dangote Cement, on the other hand, has about 19.25. So despite the consolidation, you're going to have like an 8.0 metric tons in Nigeria as against Dangote Cement's 19.35. So the company still has a long way to go, but there's a growth potential here, which investors need to factor into the price.
Okay, so going forward, do you see this as still a high value sector, especially for investors who are still interested in putting money in these industrial stocks?
Definitely, I see it as a high valued stock. Right now we have a buy recommendation on the stock because WAPCO is offering for Ashaka Cement shares about 1.3 billion Lafarge Group shares in Ashaka. Is offering 370 million of its shares. So I believe that there is growth potential in this sector. I believe that WAPCO Cement can do more. With the synergy right now, they can really speed up their expansion projects. Ashaka is to be upgraded to a 4.0 metric ton. Unisem, of which it has 35%, is to be upgraded to a 5.0 metric ton. So there are growth potentials here, and I think investors need to look along this line.
What about expectations for their half-year numbers, the likes of not just WAPCO, the likes of Dangote Cement, also Cement Company of Northern Nigeria? What are investors' expectations?
Well, basically, their top-line growth, revenues most especially, it depends on the availability of gas, which was what was the problem in the Q1 results. So we feel that if the cement sector can have gas available to them in the H1, they should have pretty good results coming out.
Okay, what are could you just give us perhaps a forecast of how the stocks will trade in the coming week? We've seen them not doing too badly so far this week, although we've seen Dangote Cement and WAPCO also taking a hit in the last couple of sessions. But your outlook for them going forward?
All right then, we believe that with the course of the week, WAPCO shares should rise, say, some 5%, and Ashaka should rise along this line as well. Dangote, it's been up and down, so we expect to see more of this happening. Maybe a 2% rise, something like that.
All right, thank you so much, Abisola, for talking to us. I appreciate your time. That was Abisola Falode, research analyst at CSL Stockbrokers, reviewing today's trading activity at the Nigerian stock market. The Osha index closed up in positive territory, just slightly up from yesterday's close.